Hey, welcome back. Jeff Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being with me today. What I want to do today is share with you more of my conversation with Christopher Wirth. We had a great conversation. You've probably heard some of the other parts of the interview already, and you know the value that he brings. And so what I want to do is talk to him today about building confidence. This is an important thing, whether you're an entrepreneur, sales, athlete, whatever you're doing. This is something that we all need to be able to get a handle on, because as we build our confidence, we can really do more and expose the abilities that we have and really bring about the potential that we can really have to accomplish our goals and do things. So I'm going to turn it over to that conversation, and then I'll be back with you in a minute.
How do you create confidence?
Confidence is one of those things that I think is often overlooked about the importance. And I think it's also misinterpreted in the sense that you can't have it magically happen overnight, but you can have an impact on it every single day. And I think something that I talk about often is small wins lead to huge victories. And I know it sounds very cliche, but it's the same thing with confidence. It's hitting your first shot in a basketball game. Your confidence grows. And you being a basketball guy yourself, you know that. If you make a sale in a business perspective, your confidence grows. But the flip side of it is, if you miss one or two sales in a row, your confidence goes down. If you miss your first two shots or your first three shots, if you're a baseball player and you strike out your first at bat in a game, your confidence diminishes. But you can increase it with little wins along the way. So let's say your next at bat in a baseball game, you don't get a hit, but you foul off 2 or 3 or 4 pitches, or you crush the ball, but it goes right to, the third baseman and you get out. The confidence was, okay, I struck out the first time. Now I saw the ball a little bit better in the next at bat, and I hit it really hard. Unfortunately, it was just right to where a defender was. But the same thing with sales, and the same thing in life, whether it's relationships, whether it's your mental perspective, is putting your eyes in front of a book. It's not going to automatically, boom, now I know everything about that subject, or now my confidence is a level 10. But what are those little things you can control? I can approach this meeting better. I can recap this missed sales opportunity. So yes, I didn't get it, but my confidence is a little bit higher because now I looked at maybe 1 or 2 areas I could have improved on, or 1 or 2 things. If I'm in a similar situation, I'm gonna follow that, and I'm gonna follow that realm down in the future. But I think it's also the idea that being confident is very different than being cocky. And I think a lot of people, confuse the two of them. And I think confidence is something that you instill in yourself through the proper maintenance along the way. If you're reading the right books, if you're preparing, if you're going to bed on time, in a sports position or a sports field, it's eating the right foods, getting the proper rest, working out in the gym. And I think if we all looked at it and reverse engineered into those little things we could do on a daily basis, I talk often about 1% better. If you make that 1% improvement, fast forward a month, 2 months, 3 months, it's going to be 10, 15, 20, percentage points or improvements, but it's only done with 1 here, 1 there. And if you compound that, your confidence should increase because you put in the effort.
Absolutely. And I actually had a incredible conversation yesterday with Tyson Durfee, who's a world champion calf roper. And he talked about that, the practice and the things he did. And he always was looking to do that better every day. And his confidence grew just from the fact that he says, I know no one's done what I've done. I know no one's put in the work, and, I'm not going to be perfect every time, but I know that I deserve this because I've put in the grind.
You touched on something, just to interject for a second, is talking about giving yourself an advantage. And we talk often about the positive mental advantage, the PMA. But the one thing, going back to controlling the controllables, I talk about often with sports teams or salespeople is that effort and that hard work. And what I mean by that is I can't control what Jeff does this morning. I can't control whether Jeff's going to go to the gym, whether he's going to go to the gym for 20 minutes or for 2 hours. And even if you're there for 2 hours, I can't control if you're going to maximize and absolutely put in 2 hours of work or not. But what I can control is I can control my effort I put in. I can control my hard work. And I know that if you put in that hard work, that you are giving yourself an advantage because you're doing it each and every day. And talk about champions in all different levels. They've put in that consistent effort weeks on end. And it's not one day, it's not one good week. It's first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day. And it's those little things that just lead to huge differences over time.
Thanks, Chris. That was awesome. There's so many good little nuggets in there. I just want to touch on a few of them. First of all, the small wins that lead to the huge victories. That is such a valuable insight. And, if you've been through my momentum series, that's a lot of the things that we talk about in there and just building that momentum. And if you haven't, go to jeffheggie.com, get my free momentum series. And I promise you're going to get a ton of value out of that. So jeffheggie.com, get my free momentum series right there on the homepage. You'll be able to access it. And the other part that he really made a great point on is, what are the things you can control and what are the things you can improve upon? Because there's a lot of times we'll focus on things that we have no control over. And so if you have no control over them, why give it all your focus? It's like fear. Fear is something in the future that hasn't happened. So why do we give it so much power? Well, same thing here. If you can't control it, don't give it the power. And he talks about giving yourself an advantage. So what are those things you can control? And the two things he talked about was effort and hard work. You can control those things. You can't control them in other people, but you can control them in yourself. And as I said with Tyson Durfee, he had the confidence because he knew that nobody else that he was competing against had put in the effort and hard work that he had. So what are the things that you need to do? What are the things that you can control that are going to help you to build the confidence to get to the next level? And again, go to jeffheggie.com, get my free momentum series, and I promise you that's going to help you get clarity and direction and help you to build the confidence you need to achieve your goals. So thanks, Chris. I'm going to turn it back over to Chris for a minute because I want you to follow him and listen to his podcast, follow him on social media, all those things. So thanks for being with me. I'll see you tomorrow, but here's Chris with more information on how to follow him.
I appreciate that. So the podcast is titled No Quit Living. You can find that, as I said, anywhere you listen to podcasts. The website is noquitliving.com. We're most active on Instagram. It's no_quit_living. And I give out my personal email address all the time. I love connecting with people. That's how you and I connected from a common friend we have. And it's chris@noquitliving.com. And I just love connecting with people because what I've realized is that we all have our no quit story and we've all gotten knocked down. And I want to learn from people and I want to connect with people, how they got up, why they got up, but what led them to come back as a better, stronger, or more intellectual version of themselves.